Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Podcast Daily.
And welcome to today's episode, where things are about to get a little dangerous.
Dangerous?
Yes, emotionally dangerous.
Because today we are testing your English.
That's right. No hiding, no endless guessing, no saying, I'll test myself next week.
Today is the day.
So here's the big question. How good is your English really?
Not your I understand English when I watch videos with subtitles English.
Not your, I know this word, wait, no, maybe, hold on, English.
And not your I was confident until somebody asked me a real question English.
We mean your real English. The English that shows up under pressure.
The English that appears when you have to choose quickly,
Listen carefully
understand meaning.
and respond like a real user of the language.
So in this episode, we're giving you an 11-minute English test inside a fun, chatty podcast.
You'll get questions on grammar, vocabulary, natural phrases, listening instinct, and everyday English.
And please remember, this is not a formal exam.
No stress, no shame, and no panic.
Well, maybe just a tiny bit of panic.
A healthy amount.
Exactly. Just enough to make it fun.
All right, friends, here are the rules.
Rule number 1, don't pause if you can help it.
Rule number 2, don't translate everything into your first language.
Rule number 3, answer fast.
Because real English isn't only about what you know, it's also about how quickly and naturally you can use it.
And rule number 4, be honest.
If you don't know it, that's okay.
This test is not here to embarrass you.
It's here to show you where you are.
And honestly, that's powerful.
You'll get 1 point for each correct answer.
There are 11 questions, so your total score will be from 0 to 11.
At the end, we'll tell you what your score suggests.
And more importantly, what you should focus on next.
Because the goal is not just, what's my level?
The goal is, what do I do now?
The test begins. Question 1. Natural English.
Question 1. Which sentence sounds more natural? A, I am very exciting about my trip next week. B, I am very excited about my trip next week.
Lock in your answer. And the answer is B. I am very excited about my trip next week.
Why? Because excited describes how you feel.
And exciting describes the thing that creates the feeling.
So, the trip is exciting.
But you are excited.
If you got that right, beautiful start.
If you got it wrong, no panic, we are just getting warmed up. Question 2. Choose the best sentence. A. She has lived here since 5 years. B. She has lived here for 5 years.
Quick answer. Don't overthink it. And the answer is B. She has lived here for 5 years.
We use for with a period of time.
For 5 years, for 2 months, for a long time.
And we use since with a starting point.
Since 2020, since Monday, since I was a child.
It's a small grammar detail, but details like this say a lot about your English instinct.
Question 3. What does I'm feeling under the weather mean? A, I'm cold. B, I'm a little sick. C, I'm standing outside.
And the answer is B. I'm a little sick.
This is a great phrase because it sounds natural and human.
It's not super formal. It's not academic. It's everyday English.
And when learners start understanding phrases like this, their English starts feeling more alive.
Less textbook, more real life.
Okay, now let's make it a little more interesting.
Okay, now let's make it a little more interesting. If your friend says, sorry I'm late, the traffic was terrible, what's the most natural response? A, I accept your apology. B, no worries, it happens. C, traffic caused your lateness.
The answer is B. No worries, it happens.
This question is important because many learners know grammar,
But don't always know the most natural social response.
and natural English is not only about correctness.
It's also about sounding relaxed, appropriate, and human. Question 5. Verb choice. Which sentence is correct? A. I suggested him to study more. B. I suggested that he study more. C. I suggested him studying more. Take your best guess.
The best answer is B. I suggested that he study more.
Now, don't worry if that felt difficult.
Yes, this is one of those higher-level structure questions.
In everyday speech, many people would simply say, I told him he should study more.
Which is often easier, clearer, and more practical.
And that's an important lesson too. Good English is not always the most complicated English.
Question 6. Fill in the blank. I was so blank by the movie that I watched it twice. A. Bored. B. Fascinated. C. Confusing.
And the answer is B. Fascinated.
Because if you watched it twice, you probably found it deeply interesting.
Not bored.
Definitely not bored.
And confusing doesn't fit naturally in that sentence in the same way.
This kind of question tests more than vocabulary. It tests meaning and emotional logic.
Exactly. English isn't only words, it's meaning.
Okay, quick breath.
If you're still with us, you're doing great.
If your score feels messy right now, welcome to the club.
Seriously, stay with us. Some of the best lessons come from the questions you miss. Question 7. Listen to this situation. Your colleague says, I might join the meeting later. I'm still finishing something. What do they really mean? A. They will definitely be early. B. They may be late or may miss the beginning. C. They already finished their work.
The answer is B. They may be late or may miss the beginning.
This is the kind of meaning people miss if they focus only on words and not intention.
Real listening is often about reading between the lines.
Not just hearing vocabulary, but catching hesitation, uncertainty, and mood.
Question 8. Collocation test. Question 8. Which phrase sounds natural? A. Make homework. B. Do homework. C. Study homework.
Answer B. Do homework.
Ah, yes, the famous collocation trap.
English learners everywhere have suffered because of collocations.
You can know every word in a sentence and still sound unnatural if the combination is wrong.
That's why collocations matter so much.
Not because they're fancy.
But because they make your English sound natural. Question 9. You want someone to open the window. Which sentence sounds more polite? A. Open the window. B. Could you open the window, please? C. You open the window now.
Please let the answer be B.
Yes, it's B. Could you open the window, please?
This question is simple, but very important.
Because English level is not only grammar level.
It's also social awareness.
Tone matters. Politeness matters. Softness matters.
Sometimes advanced English is just knowing how not to sound rude.
Question 10. Error spotting.
Question 10. Which sentence has the mistake? A. I've never been to Canada. B. She doesn't like coffee. C. He go to work by train every day.
The answer is C. He go to work by train every day.
It should be, he goes to work by train every day.
Simple? Yes.
But under pressure, these are exactly the mistakes people make.
And that's why quick tests are useful. They show what happens when your brain has to move fast. And now the final question. Which response sounds the most natural? Someone asks, how was your weekend? A. My weekend was full of activities and satisfaction. B. It was pretty good. I relaxed, met a friend, and caught up on some sleep. C. My weekend was normal and completed successfully. Pause.
And the answer is B. It was pretty good.
I relaxed, met a friend, and caught up on some sleep.
This question matters because sometimes learners think advanced English means formal English.
But real fluency often sounds simple,
Natural, clear, comfortable.
not robotic, not translated, not overloaded.
All right, pens down, brains down, emotional recovery time.
Let's count your score.
Give yourself 1 point for every correct answer.
Now let's see what your score suggests. If you got 0 to 3,
Don't feel bad.
really don't.
This usually means your English is still developing at a foundational level.
You probably need more practice with core grammar, common phrases, and slow, clear listening.
And that is completely okay. Everyone starts somewhere.
If you got 4 to 6, you're building something solid.
You probably understand a lot, but you may still hesitate with natural usage, quick choices, or real-life phrasing.
This is often the I understand more than I can speak stage.
And honestly, that stage can be frustrating.
But it's also the stage where real progress starts to accelerate.
If you got 7 to 9, very nice.
That suggests a strong intermediate or upper intermediate level.
You're not just memorizing English, you're starting to feel it.
You probably catch natural patterns, common expressions, and social meaning more easily.
And if you got 10 or 11,
First of all, who are you?
second of all, excellent work.
That suggests very strong English awareness.
Not perfect English, because nobody is perfect, but strong instinct, strong comprehension, and strong control.
Now here's the important part.
Your score is useful.
But it is not your identity.
Let me say that again, because some listeners really need to hear it.
Yes.
Your score is information, not a judgment.
If you got a low score, that doesn't mean you're bad at English.
It means you now know what to improve.
And if you got a high score, amazing.
But don't stop there.
Because real fluency is bigger than test answers.
It's your listening, your confidence, your consistency, your speaking speed, your comfort in conversation.
And your ability to stay calm when your brain suddenly forgets a very easy word.
Which, by the way, happens to everyone.
Even in your first language. So what should listeners do after this test?
Great question. If your score was low, focus on everyday grammar, basic sentence patterns, common phrases, and listening slowly and consistently.
And please, don't jump into very advanced content just because it looks impressive. If your score was medium,
You need more natural expressions, quick response practice, speaking without translating, and short daily fluency exercises.
this is the stage where self-talk, shadowing, and mini conversations help a lot. If your score was high,
Now focus on sounding more natural, catching nuance, improving speaking rhythm, and building confidence in real-time conversations.
because high-level learners often don't need more grammar.
They need more flow.
Emotional wrap-up. Mary, can I say something honest?
Please.
A lot of people are scared to test their English.
Yes,
Because once they see the result, it feels real.
that's true.
But avoiding the truth never improves your English.
Exactly.
Looking at your level honestly is brave.
And it's powerful.
Because now you know.
Now you can train smarter.
Now you can stop guessing.
And if today's score disappointed you a little,
Let that become fuel.
not shame.
Fuel.
Because every strong English speaker you admire was once confused, slow, uncertain, and awkward too.
Nobody begins fluent.
They become fluent.
So, how good is your English?
Better than yesterday?
Hopefully.
Perfect?
Probably not.
Improving?
That's the goal.
If you enjoyed this test episode, save it and come back in a few weeks to try again.
And next time, try to beat your own score.
Not someone else's.
Your own.
Because this journey is personal.
And progress counts.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We're Mary and Alex.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, keep listening.
Keep speaking.
And keep growing.